Lead with Legacy, the official podcast of IOL Global. Here, we will explore leadership that outlives titles and trends. Through conversations with faith-based and marketplace leaders, we will discuss integrity, conviction, and purpose. To learn more about us, visit us at iolglobal.com. Hello, welcome back to Lead with Legacy podcast. I am so incredibly excited and honored to have Mr. Daniel Hemhauser here today. We're going to talk a little bit about who you are and what you do. We also have Sloane Lott, my director of operations, literally the machine behind all we do. And so grateful for her and to have her here. So I'm going to flip the script a little bit. I'm going to start out. First of all, Daniel is basically a celebrity. And so I'm really excited. I checked this morning. I know you saw me check. On LinkedIn, it tells you who looks at your profile. So I know you saw that I did. I had to see because I knew it was a lot, but I didn't know how many. You have 93,543 followers. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's very strange because again, I'm not that important of a person. And it's just amazing that when you, I guess, like try to speak the truth to your own, like what you see and your experience and try to share it with others for the benefit of them, not for yourself. It seems to be taking its own strange trick down the lane. And so I wake up every morning, I see those numbers and I'm quite shocked that that's more than enough to fill up two football stadiums in the US. So
pretty
very
amazing.
Shocking to see.
Yeah. So, I mean, I fully expect to at least get one of those to convert over with, not to leave you, of course. No, I'm joking. No,
that's why I love talking to you guys so much because we are so aligned, like 1,000% on everything with all what we believe, how we're trying to help people. That's one of the reasons why the two of you, especially, like I hold you both dear to my heart.
Thank you. Yeah, same. And we've had several conversations together offline. Yeah. We have a lot in common as far as project management in general, but a lot in common, just values, friendship, camaraderie, collaboration, helping people out. Sending people this way or that way to get the help that they need. And that's one of the things that I've just really, really admire about you. It's been an honor to get to know you and your team.
Same.
We had Mark Hedquist, we had him on. And that was, we had him on early on. It's been a long time. So
yeah, Mark is such a great human being. Let alone person, just a great human being, like a
great
really,
conversation
really,
with him.
Really good guy.
We've been anxiously awaiting getting you on. We actually had you scheduled and there were some issues and we had to reschedule. And so, we've been counting down the days. We're really, really excited.
Okay, same.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to, it was fun because we don't make a script, but we send our guest questions and things like that. But then I did log on to your LinkedIn today and I saw your post. So I'm going to actually read it because it's hilarious. Daniel said, I have 49 years of experience in project management and I'm 51 years old. I've been managing projects since the womb. It said that my kindergarten chore list inspired the first version of the PMBOK. I learned early that scope creep starts when a simple clean your room turns into and the garage while you're at it. My first resource allocation challenge, negotiating snack trades at lunch to optimize cookie intake. And every time I close my eyes, I see a mental Gantt chart that's tracking milestones like first steps, first words, first successfully delegated household chore. So I love it. It's hilarious. That was a great post. And I think it's probably pretty true, right?
It definitely is to a degree. And like, I used to do it all the time, but now I try to do it like once a week at least, like something that's not so like the end of the world, right? Or reality, just something a little fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your posts. I love going back and forth with you. One of the things that's a lot of fun about your posts is you will actually interact with people. And come back and have good conversation back and forth, which is a lot of fun. I have several people on LinkedIn that I have the honor to do that with. So we're all big LinkedIn fans. We're old and we're in the business world. So that's what we do. We spend
feel like that's our combined virtual office between a group of about 500 of us.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. But what an amazing place because we get to connect with people that we wouldn't otherwise know. And connect. So I want you to take a minute, tell us who you are, where are you at?
Sure.
What is it that you do? Because you will tell people better than I will.
Sure. So of course, my name is Daniel Hemhauser. I'm a project manager / project leader. I've been doing that for about 20 years. So I've been primarily working in IT for about 26 years. Started off as a network engineer, fell into project management like a lot of project managers and just been loving it ever since. I feel like it's in my DNA, very much in line with that post. It's a little witty, but I feel like this is what I was born to do. And, over the last year and a half, I've got, an opportunity to kind of share that with the rest of the world. And in my a little attempt to try to, put a mark on the profession and really try to elevate the conversations around project management and help as many people as possible. Something I've always done. Me and my wife are involved in every kind of community thing that you could go, that you could imagine. And I just, once I got laid off and I was kind of trying to figure out what my next steps were, this gave me a place to really, again, meet people like you, work with other project managers, stay connected to the profession and the industry, but really find a path forward to help as many people as possible, right? It's a global platform with 1 billion+ people on it. And it's created something that I can never imagine. I've always wanted to write, teach, coach, mentor, all those things. And this allows me, thankfully, to do that. And yeah, it's been a fun journey. I'm working at own my own business. Called the PM Playbook, and pretty much in a nutshell, it's just a community where anyone could come, regardless of where you are, how much money you make, where you are in your journey, and just really connect with other people on the same path. It's a free community. There are some
Right.
paid portions of it, but it's very minimal. We want to keep 95% of the platform always free. Again, I believe deep in my heart that regardless of where you're from and what country that you live in, you should have access to the same tools, tips, materials that everyone else has. So yeah, we're building slowly but surely, and it's been quite a journey. It's not what I envisioned 2 years ago. It's not what I envisioned 20 years ago, but it's certainly, I feel like a path that destiny has put me on. And again, I get to meet people like you, which
Yeah.
has been life changing. Literally, like I know people use that term, but it's actually changed my life. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been
God has a
amazing.
way
It's
of
been
doing
amazing.
that, of
Oh
steering
yes,
us a
yes,
different way, I
yes,
wouldn't say that I was gonna be doing this either, but here we are, and
yes.
I think we've talked a
Oh
little bit
yes.
about that too,
Yep.
offline, and so, yeah, there's a way he has, like, "Hey, this is really what I want you to do."
Yes. Now let's go left now. Yeah,
Yeah, and the
it's
PM
amazing.
Playbook is great. We're gonna put the link to that at the bottom of this video. I
Thank you.
encourage everyone to go check that out. I chuckle a little bit because you say that you still have a lot of growth to get, like, you're doing it, Daniel, you're already there. Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
and you're
you.
incredible. And so you're up north, I can't remember where.
Yeah, I live and work out of New Jersey, but I
New Jersey.
primarily have serviced the New York, New Jersey area for my entire career. But yeah, I live
Awesome.
right dab in the center of New Jersey.
Wow. I guess I didn't remember. I knew it was up north somewhere. Matt Zimbrewski we had on here, and he is, like, up in, was he Philadelphia or something, like, up
Oh
New
yeah, 40
Hampshire?
minutes from my house. Yeah.
For
Nice.
people like us, that's just up there.
Yeah, exactly. Just up there.
That's up there in that area. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's great. All right. Well, so Sloan and I are very, very, like I said, we have been anticipating this conversation. And so I am going to let her kind of take over and ask some questions. And then we'll just kind of free flow back and forth and
Sounds good.
and see what happens. So take it away, Sloan.
Absolutely. Mr. Daniel, you've led large portfolios across hundreds of initiatives. And as today's post shared with us, since kindergarten, you've been making these deals. So when you enter a complex delivery environment, what do you assess first?
That's a good question. The first thing I take a look at is not the project plan, right? You would think, oh, let me jump on a project plan. Like, I don't care about that, right? The first thing I ordinarily do is talk to my team or the people that I'm presented with as this is my team, or at least my key stakeholders. And I'm trying to really kind of see where they are, right? What's going on, see, what the political aspects of it are, how the decisions are being made. And again, I'm not even talking to the sponsor or the people that actually control the project. I want to make sure I'm really, truly understanding what's really going on. So then me and my team could put a battle plan together to fix that. In the last 10 or so years of my career, so about half my career, I've primarily been working in organizations where I'm brought in after a project has either blown up or is just kind of gone off the rails or is about to go off the rails. And yeah, so again, you would expect, let me see the project plan, let me see what's going on. That we could worry about that stuff later. Again, ordinarily, I want to see how the team is doing. I want to speak to the key stakeholders and again, really understand the decision-making process, the politics, the trust that's been built or destroyed, the
Yeah.
capacity of the team. Are we missing anything? And really just try to, spend about a week or so doing those things before I even look at any documentation, because that's to look at that in my inbox at any time, right? I want to see what's going on the ground. And ordinarily, 9 times out of 10, that leads me to exactly where I want to be. And of course, it enables us to pretty quickly, usually, put a good game plan together to present it to sponsors and the leadership, whoever the case may be.
And it's necessary, right? To hear what's going
Yeah.
on, listen to what's going on.
Yeah.
You just can't jump onto those dashboards and say, "Here's how we do it now." And
No.
this is you've got to figure out the culture. What is the
Yes.
motivation? How are we
Yes.
communicating with people? I don't
Yes.
know if you've gotten a chance yet to read Dr. LaFrance's newest book, his
I'm halfway through. I'm
Are
halfway
you?
through it. Yeah. He sent it to me.
Yeah, listening for value. It's great. And, these leaders that we're blessed to follow and work alongside, you see them doing that. They're
Yes.
listening, they're getting to the root cause first, and then they're moving forward. And I think
Yeah.
you look at the people that have the most success. You have a lot of success. This is how you do it. You've proven that listening and getting to know people matters.
Oh, I couldn't agree. And you've been doing project manager long enough, you realize there's 30 different versions of a project going on at any time. And I want to find the real one first. Right. And I want to, look at all the dashboards, but I couldn't agree more. Active, like my mentees and my coaching clients, the thing I cannot stress enough to them is active listening. And I say this all the time, and people kind of look at me funny. I say, listen with your eyes, not with just your ears, right? Especially if you have an opportunity to meet someone in person or work with a team in person, because people will tell you, they might not be even saying the words, but if you listen close enough with a humble heart and you're really trying to be empathetic and understand them, they're going to tell you what you need to hear. And of course, that ordinarily enables trust and great relationships pretty quickly. And it creates psychological safety a lot faster than a lot of other ways.
Yeah. Couldn't
Yeah,
agree
I
more.
agree. And I think it's important too, not just for the leaders, but the team members to have
Yeah.
open ears and open hearts to
Yeah.
one, to share, right? And two, to listen to the feedback that comes and understand that
Yeah.
it's not a critical feedback. It's here's how we're going to help the team, here's how we're going to help you, here's how we're going to help the
Yep.
project,
Yep.
and take it, it in stride and implement the things that we're giving you so that you can have a more successful team and a more successful project. And also kind of, unfortunately sometimes when you go in, I'm sure you're having to weed out some of the negative influences that are going on that aren't helping the project. And either, sometimes we have team members, as unfortunate it is, that they're just a really, really negative part of the project, and they can either correct, which is what we
Yeah.
hope, or they
Yeah.
can go off of the project.
Well, yes.
And that's
I
not
always seem
at
to have
all.
at least one
Always.
to,
There's
to, to
always.
varying degrees sometimes. Hopefully it's
Yeah.
not to that 1 degree, but
Right.
yeah. And again, some of the things that I said I do first, one of the things I'm trying to do is identify if there are any people like that and if they are, who they are, so that we
Yeah.
could try to, devise plans, go
Well,
around
and
them
a
if I
lot
have
of
to,
times
work with
too,
them.
there's like a core reason behind
Yeah.
why they are the way that they are, or why they might be sabotaging a project because, they were promised 50 things down the road. It never happened. And they're carrying a load that they can't, really carry. And so getting behind that and figuring it out and finding their motivation and finding,
That's it. Finding their
giving them the
motivation. Yep.
coaching, yeah, to help and to get through it. And so it's not, it's not, oh, we want to come in and we want to get rid of everybody. I don't think anybody has
No.
that goal. It's, hey, how can we make this better? How can
Yes,
we make you
absolutely.
better? How can we, listen better and focus better and get things done? So
And
very good.
a
Very
lot of
good.
times when I get to the root cause, 90% of the time, it has nothing to do with what we work on. It could be,
Exactly.
they're an IT person and they didn't get the raise they were promised. Very much like you said, it has nothing to do with the project, but then they bring that stuff into the project and it affects us. So no, actively listening is the key with an empathetic ear, of course.
Sure.
Because people just want to be heard at the end of the day, and they might just want to yell at you for a half hour and shake hands and go on the project, and they feel better, you feel better, and now they're being constructive to the project. So
Yeah. That's very, very good advice for leaders too, is that you need to allow your team to say what they need to say sometimes. And it
absolutely,
may not be easy to hear. They
yep,
might tell you, look, you're failing in this part. But that's how we learn and grow, right? As a team, as individuals, is sometimes we have to hear some of that feedback. Hopefully it's as kind as possible. And
yeah, exactly. Keep it
sometimes it's
professional, of
not.
course, but no, and I've had a few of those myself, and that has kind of led me to where I am today. But But certainly when I give it, I do it exactly like you just explained.
Yeah.
You just gotta make sure that you think like I have kids, so like I try to kind of weave that mentality into, not that I'm treating people like kids, but just keep them kick gloves. They're adults. They're professionals. We're not as on the schoolyard. Like we have to accomplish something collectively. And again, you just kind of find what they need and make sure that you at least attempt to get it, even if you can't. You try to help them out. Maybe put them on a different path, get them some coaching training, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But ordinarily, people are pretty good at the end of the day. At least I found.
Yeah. And I think too a lot in what I have found is a lot of times when you have negativity or you have issues or you have somebody who is having a hard time, there's usually, like you said, something behind that. There's something so much more to that. You just don't, a lot of times we don't know, and a lot of times we're so busy, or we have so many deadlines to face,
Yes.
that we're not thinking about, like, oh, so and so's mom is having a problem, or husband
Yep.
or wife or whatever, or their kid is struggling, and those things. It's as much as culture wants to say, hey, you need to come into the office, without that stuff it's impossible. And I think when we're
Impossible. We're
more,
human beings. Yeah.
yeah, when we're more attuned to that and more empathetic to that, I think there's a happy medium, right? Like, I want to, with our team, like, I want to know, hey, if you're struggling, I need to know that you're
Yeah.
struggling. I want to be able to help you as best that I can, but also it allows me to know, like, I can't put as much on you right now because you already have a lot on you. And so the expectations can be a little bit different. They can be shifted. We can shift some things to other people. And then, when hopefully those things are resolved in the personal life, and we can come back and we can say, okay, now you can have some additional
Absolutely.
duties or whatever. But it's that empathy with our team and knowing, and I think to team members as well, it's important that you communicate those things. I don't think you have to come pour your whole life out, but if
Yeah.
if you have something
Yeah.
serious going on, you should probably say, because people are going to know that something's wrong regardless, because you're not
Yeah.
yourself or whatever is going on. So,
Yeah. You're a rock star every day for 3 years, and all of a sudden you're not showing up to work anymore. Something's going
right,
on.
something's wrong.
The
Yeah.
benefit
Something's
the
wrong.
benefit of
We
the
need to have
doubt
a
goes a
talk.
long way.
Yeah.
What was that, Sloan?
The benefit of the doubt goes a long way.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Extending grace
absolutely.
to people. I love there. I follow Jefferson Fisher online, and he says,
Nice.
when yeah, and he says, give the benefit of the doubt. Somebody drives past you really fast and they honk. You go, maybe they're going to the hospital.
Right, right.
Yep.
Maybe they are having an emergency. And so when people come at you, and you're like, "Ooh, that's a little aggressive," maybe something happened this morning that was really terrible. Or maybe
Yes.
there is more to this story, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it by listening with my ears and my eyes, as you
Oh my
Yeah.
said.
God, I love it.
So,
That's the kind of
yeah.
stuff I do in the car. My wife goes crazy. I'm like, maybe that guy had a bad morning. His kids, whatever it is. But and I just in the last year or so realized that I do that in my personal and professional life. And it wasn't until the last year with all this LinkedIn stuff that I'm really starting to at 51 years really seeing who I am as a person and how I affect the world around me, both positively and negatively. So it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, as we
Yeah.
develop those habits, that's like
Yeah.
well, maybe,
Yeah.
you are
Right.
quicker to give the benefit of the doubt than to
Yes.
assume. And so that's
Yes.
something we have to practice daily. That's what
Yeah.
sticks.
Too, when you've been through some of those hard things, it's easier
For
on the
sure.
back end to go up. Like you said, like somebody driving down the road really fast or something. Like, I've been that person before with, with my mom
Same.
in the car, and
Same.
an
Yep.
emergency, and there was no other choice, and that's what we had to do. And so I think when you've walked through some of those things, when you've had some challenges in your life that are extraordinary,
Yeah.
then you learn more empathy for other people. Like, hey, is there something going on? Do you need help with something? Can I step up to the plate for you? On an interesting side note, so I found out last night, this is weird. Did you know, like, in the 1900s, like 47 was like the cap age? Like, that's pretty much where people passed away.
That's so
I'm like,
crazy.
so we're killing it over
But
here.
yeah, we're killing it, right? We're like, superhuman over here.
I'm like, wow, I'm doing great.
That's so it's so crazy to hear that. Like that wasn't that long ago in the
That was
grand
not that
scheme of
long
life,
ago.
right? Of the grand scheme of the world and the
No.
universe. Not it was like yesterday.
And that's like natural, like that's not some catastrophic
Yeah.
event or something. That was
Just
like your
natural. Yeah.
median, like you weren't
That's so
like
crazy.
47 was about as good as you were going to get. And I'm like, oh,
Wow.
I turned 47 this year. And I'm like, wow, that like puts things, that's perspective, right? And then
Absolutely.
we got to be
Absolutely.
at a meeting last night. We went to a beekeepers meeting, very interesting. And the gentleman that was teaching or was heading it up, he was, I think he said 83.
Oh my God,
I
that's
mean, he's like
awesome.
looking better than me. And I'm like, dang, I got to get my life together. Like, what is
Right.
going on? And
That's how I am.
he said his doctor said he's fit as a fiddle and he's good to go as long as
Oh
he
my God,
keeps
I'd love
on
to see that
going.
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just
So,
be nice and drink water. I think that's really what it boils down to.
and maybe have a lot of honey because he has like a whole
Right,
bunch of bees.
right, right.
Maybe
Yeah,
honey
he has
is the
access to a
key.
lot of bees.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And again, people just overcomplicate everything. Just like
Absolutely.
take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Don't go crazy on anything, and you should be decent, right? Unless you have some kind
Yeah.
of underlying illness, of course.
We
But
would hope so. Yeah. All right, Sloan, what do you have for us next?
All right. Daniel, you said you have run to projects that most people avoid, and we have. We know that's the truth. What makes a project truly difficult, and what allows a leader to step in when others hesitate?
what makes it different? Again, it doesn't have to be a massive multi-billion-dollar project. It could be a $50,000 project, but to a small startup company, that's make or break for them, right? So I would kind of put that in the high stakes category where, if the project is high stakes and has a lot of visibility, especially to potential clients and or senior stakeholders. Another one would probably be, a massive or small project, but mostly massive, that just is a major transformation program that just has like no clarity. Like, what are we doing? Like the transformation that just never ends, right? It's always in transformation mode. Something like that. That seems to be my last 5 or 6 transformation ones. Uh, One where ordinarily in a project you have like one sponsor. It could have maybe 2 or 3. I've had successful projects with that, but it projects that have feel like everyone's a sponsor, right? Or there's multiple senior level stakeholders that everyone presumes that those people are in charge when sometimes none of them are in charge. It's someone completely different, or that they have no responsibility, but because they might control key aspects of a team or a project or a budget or whatever the case may be, they might have some kind of either inherent or indirect power. Those are probably the three, and just like the politics and the culture. And of all the last 10 or so years, all the major transformations or projects that have come into fix or realign are been fit into one of those 3 or 4 buckets. And none of them, again, some of them were really little tiny ones, like $20,000. Some of them were in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't think the money part of it or the spend aspect has anything to do with it, but the complexity of the people, like who's in charge, right? Like who's
Right.
aligning this project? Like why do we have 90 different teams having meetings all the time? Like who's actually leading this? And most of the projects that were blowing up or about to, so like no one could tell me who was actually in charge. Yes, there was a sponsor, I had his or her name on a document, but
Right.
they didn't do anything. They were never around. Like there was pointing me to the wrong people. So trying to realign, that kind of goes back to the first question you asked me, like trying to figure that stuff out first, right? But at least in my own personal experience, it might not be for everyone, but it ordinarily fits into 3 or 4 of those buckets. Again, putting the size aside, the complexity is always the people. It's always the people for me. That's why I
Yes.
post about it on LinkedIn all the time, right? We can have all the projects in Jira and all the different tools and stuff, but at the end of the day, people deliver projects and people lead projects. So when you throw people and human beings with all those different personal and professional experiences and challenges going on in their lives, anything could happen. The more people, the more craziness that could happen.
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm gonna go out on a very unpopular project management pedestal here and tell you, I do not like meetings. I am not a meeting
We're
fan.
on the same page.
Oh my gosh. Like the meeting
I
after
hate them.
meeting after meeting, and I'm like, we're not meeting. Somebody is
No,
just going on about whatever they need to go on about, and we could do that in a different arena. Let's go have coffee and talk about the problem, but we don't need to have a meeting
exactly.
and a meeting and a meeting.
Exactly. Listen, unless we're
I
we're going, I could put the kickoff meeting aside. Like that's the kickoff's the kickoff, right? But
Sure.
putting that meeting aside, every other meeting I have, a decision better come out of the other side of it. or I'm not having
Agreed.
that meeting. I don't
Yeah.
need a status meeting. I don't need all these other things. Like I could send you an email. I could, make a KPI. I could put it in Jira.
100%. Yeah.
None of that stuff is maybe a steer call meeting or something like
Well, and
that. But
maybe some of that came out of which I'm a huge fan of Scrum. Don't get me wrong. I'm a
yeah,
Scrum fan. I'm an
I think that's
Agile
kind of where it
fan.
came out for me too.
But yeah, I think that's where it came from. It's like, oh, we gotta have a meeting and a meeting, and let's have a meeting
Yeah,
about the meeting, and then
a
let's talk
meeting
about
about the
that
meeting
meeting.
about the meeting. Oh my God,
And
yeah,
it's like I was in a situation a couple years ago,
so crazy.
or maybe even sooner, where it was like there's a meeting and a meeting and a meeting, and I was like, finally, I was like, listen, I don't mind to do whatever you guys need to do. I'll be there, whatever you need me to do. But when do you want me to work? When am I
Exactly.
supposed
When
to
do you want
work?
me to actually work?
I can't work if I'm in 12 meetings a week because you're
Yeah.
breaking up my thought process, my mental
Yes,
clarity.
yes. Then you need notes and you have to follow up, and then there goes
Yeah.
40 hours right out the
Yeah.
door.
And again, like you said, like what decision is being made in this meeting? Are we just coming in? Now, granted, I agree with you. Kickoff meetings, and there are some motivational things, team building
Yeah, for
meetings,
sure.
things like
For sure.
that. I think that there's a time and a place, but I do think that if you look back, and again, not knocking Scrum, but I think that kind of derived, I think we got in this project management culture of that, and it derived up of, oh, we got to have a meeting and a meeting and a meeting. And so for those listening, and this really isn't a project management podcast, but you're very deep in project management, and we are connected with a lot of project management
Yeah.
professionals. And so for those of you listening that are leaders, back off the meetings. We don't like them. They're
Great tip.
terrible. And we're not
No,
you need to let us work. Let us get to work and do our work. Because yeah, I mean, we need time to think and you cannot be creative or focus
no.
or get anything done if every hour and a half or 2 hours you got to be on another meeting, because then you have prep time for that meeting. You
Exactly.
have to be,
Prepping, documentation. Oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're just shoving something in your mouth to eat for lunch, and this is
Yeah,
not a healthy
walking down the
culture that
hallway,
we're
eating a
building.
sandwich. Yeah, like that's
Yeah,
not a way to live. That's
it's
why
not.
project success rates don't get any better because of a lot of the culture, that happen in organizations. But yeah, like for me, kickoff meeting, end meeting, and maybe a few in between, unless there's a need. I'm not talking about my team meetings or my one-on-ones, the
Right.
ones that make sure my team is good throughout the
Sure.
entirety of the project, and maybe some internal, maybe some client, some vendor ones. But man, I try to limit my meetings
Yeah.
to one or two a week, unless it's
Yeah.
absolutely necessary. And if it is, there must be decisions that come out of the other. Not let's check on with Bob. Let's check on
I
with.
like
No,
that. I
no,
like
they
that.
have to
Yeah.
be done now, or don't come to this meeting. We'll cancel and reschedule.
Yeah, again, that's probably a pretty unpopular I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's more popular than we think. And
On
again,
LinkedIn,
I
I
wanna
find it out it's actually a little bit more popular than I thought it was. I thought it was
right,
kind of
right.
unpopular. No, most people. I mean,
It's
these
pretty
people.
exhausting.
Yeah, it is exhausting. Like I know, like even if you read the PMBOK and all these books, like there's so many great things in there, but it makes it feel like that you should be in meetings all day. And I think we've done it as a profession so much that
Mhm.
I'm always in this chicken or egg. Like, why do so many executives think that we're admins and meeting makers? But then we do the meeting making. So is it like us that cause that friction, or is it
It's a
the
really good
culture, or is it
question.
like I feel like I'm on this journey to figure out, which side is kind of the cause of it, or
Which came first, the
yeah, exactly, which
meeting
came
or
first, right? Was it us that did this? And if so, like that's why I'm at work on LinkedIn, all the time. Like, yeah, like we got to do better as if we want to be
yeah.
treated differently as a profession, we have to act differently. Yes, we don't have any control. We all know that, but we could do our part. We could certainly change the hearts and minds of people if we show them there's a better way to do it.
I
Doesn't
think
work in
so.
every instance, but I found most places where I've attempted to do that, the reception usually was pretty good. Not all the time, but usually pretty good. And the culture did wind up changing.
Too, also it was really a popular opinion. Now I think it's becoming less popular, but I'm a huge fan, huge proponent of remote work too. I
Me
like
too.
in-person work. Sloan and I get to work together, and I love it. I didn't think I would,
Nice.
but I love it. It's a lot of fun. I had worked by myself for a very, very, very long time. And when she came on, I was like, you can work at your house, you can work at my house, you can work wherever you want to go or whatever you want to do. And she really likes coming here, and I really like having her here.
I
It's a
love
unique
that.
opportunity. And so it works really well with us. But where I was going with that is there is something to, and this is for leaders out there, there's something to, if you're remote, if your team is remote, to literally just wearing something comfy, throwing your hair up, sitting at not your hair, but my hair, and just sitting down and focusing and doing your work and
Yeah.
getting it done. And there's not this expectation. I think, and I'm not trying to be sexist either way, but I think for women too, it is a lot of work to get up
Yeah.
and get ready and to do all those things so
Yes.
that you can be on a camera. The amount of time that is spent to do all that, I could have got 20 things done by now.
Yeah.
But I have to be on
Exactly.
5 meetings, so I gotta get up and fix my hair and do my makeup and
Yep.
you know what I
Yep.
mean? So there's something to be said, and so what I would say to the leaders out there, if you have remote teams, is, allow them a day or 2 a week just to, leave them alone, let them do their work. Like,
Yeah.
if you have people that you can't leave alone to do their work, you don't need those people. If
Exactly.
they
Either you or they got to go
Right.
because something's not right.
Something's gotta happen
Yeah.
because if you have people on your team that you can't just let them sit and do their work or however they need to do it, then y'all have a bad dynamic and
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Exactly. And oddly enough, I made a post a while. I hate to keep bringing up LinkedIn. It's like in my DNA now.
I
The
know it is.
post of all the posts I've made ever, the one that has done the most is a post about this thing exactly
Is
you're
it?
talking about. 57,000 likes, got me 20,000 followers in a day and a half. And
Wow.
it continued to blow up. It was being reposted every second and a half. But
Holy moly. Did I
it,
see that?
it,
I'm gonna have to go look for that post.
it was about pretty much same thing. It started off like, I don't care where you work. I don't care if you start at 6, 9, 10 o'clock. I don't care
Right.
if your kids I don't care. Just, I hired
do your
you
job.
because you're an adult. If you got
Yeah.
a problem, let me know. You don't got to check in with me all the time. And just at the end, it gave like 3 or 4 little blurbs about how to be very much like what you said, Amanda, just how to be a good project or a team member, not scolding someone. Just, hey, I don't care what's going on. Just do these 4 things. If you say something, do something. Have your work done when you said it's going to be done or when it's due. Other than that, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Walk your
let Sloan
dog, like
chime in
go.
on that because when she started working for me, she came from government work. And so
Mm,
she would like tag me on every email. I'm like, Sloan, I don't need to know. Like,
exactly.
stop.
So it's
But that's
hilarious.
what it does. That's what
Yeah.
it does.
I'm like, I went to the bathroom 3 times today and I talked to these 8 people and I CC on her on every email, and so now about every 2 weeks she goes, anything on your list I can help you with?
That's
You know,
it.
and
That's it.
so when I realized she does trust me, and she said, if I didn't trust you, you wouldn't be here.
Mm-mm.
That's the
And so
core of it.
that's
Yep.
a huge responsibility, but that's a great privilege too.
Yeah.
It
Because
is. I love how you said that, Sloan. I'm gonna have to put that in a post. That was really good. I like how you said that. That was
feel free.
That's
really,
why I
really
keep
good.
her around.
It
She's
is a responsibility.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, she's so awesome. Yeah, no, that it is a responsibility.
Yeah, I think the same thing. So we have another team member, Amy, she does work remote. And like the same thing with her. At first, she was like sending me all these updates. And I'm like, hey, I really appreciate it. And I'm really glad to know that you're doing what you're doing, but I trust you. Hopefully I'm seeing a result, right? And she does. She's good about once a week because we don't really talk a lot.
Yeah.
About once a week, she'll send me, hey, this is what I did this week. And I'm like,
That's it.
great. Thank you
Once
for
a
letting me
week,
know.
or let me know if you need something. You
Perfect.
need
Right.
That's it.
And that's what
all
I
you
tell
need.
her. If you need me, you tell me. Like, ring a bell, tell me you need me. I'm
Yes.
here. I will absolutely be at your side. But yeah, it's been a really what I would call a beautiful dance with my team. It's just like learning that
I
and
love
giving
that.
them
I
the
love that.
opportunity to do what they need to do. They're brilliant and they're
Exactly.
better
That's
than
why
me,
you
and I'm
hired them.
glad.
Hopefully, I'm around people that are all smarter than me. 'Cause
Exactly. That is the goal.
doing their
Yes.
thing, right? Doing their thing that they're good at. That's the reason why you hired them. But I couldn't agree more. And I worked my first 20 years of my career literally 8 hours a day, every day in the office in New York City. It wasn't until COVID. I was fervently against remote work. COVID happened, boom, light switch went off. We're all working from home. And now I don't know if I could actually ever go back into an
Yeah.
office if I ever did 5 days a week. And even managing a remote team, it takes, you could be the best leader in the world, but if you don't know how to truly manage a remote team and check in with them and make sure they're good and they're okay, like there's so many variables to that. But it's been an exciting time that I couldn't agree more. Like everyone has a life at the end of the day. If you're doing your job and no one's complaining about you and we're checking in once in a while and you let me know what's going on, more
Well,
power
I
to
mean,
you.
there is scientific research on this too. Is like if you allow your teams to have more autonomy, even with
Yeah.
Sloan coming in, I'll tell her like we'll do a calendar meeting the month before. I'm like, hey, what days do you want off? It's her choice. It's her life. This is her life.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
grateful to have her, and
Yeah.
yes, I'm employing her, and yes, we have things that we have to do and goals we have to meet, but it's her life. So
Yes.
you let me know. Now, granted, if it got excessive with an employee or something like that, that would
Of
be
course. Yeah.
different. We would have to have a talk. But I think that's like you were saying, like the post that you made, that's when we find mature people, intelligent people, smart people, we have to give them the availability, one, to have a life. Two, I
Yeah.
mean, there are things that need to be done, but I know this for a fact. I am more productive myself when I am able to, go out to the pool at 2 o'clock or something and
Yeah.
take a break and breathe and
Yeah,
get
and
away a
get
little
up and
bit.
walk around the house for a minute, like whatever it is,
Yeah.
just like having that freedom, it just does something to me mentally that makes
Yes.
me feel like I want to accomplish 5 times as much as I would in
Yeah.
the office today, and I don't got to spend 4 hours on a train.
And I don't have 25 meetings this week
Yeah,
that
25 meetings. Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy, but no, I'm a fervent believer in at least 3 days a week, if you can. Every environment doesn't support that.
We were
Some you
talking
got to be in the office, but
I don't remember who we were talking to the other day. We were talking about like, oh, I was talking on another recording I was doing with Natalie Burkuskina. She does the Project Management Life, which is more about like
yes, yeah, I was gonna say the name. Yes, Natalie,
yeah,
Natalie. Yes, oh, I love her.
yeah,
She's so
she's
sweet.
incredible.
She's so sweet.
She's been on our podcast, and I've done several other recordings and stuff with her, and she did a webinar and stuff. And yeah, I have taken a lot away from her information as well. So shout out to her, like shameless shout out in the middle. It wasn't my goal, but she is really great. One thing I like about all of the people that we have been connected with is we're all just so good to just like, hey, this is who you need, or that's who you need, and go
Yes.
talk to Daniel, or check this out or check that out. Is like we have a really, really good community. We're not playing any this is the favorite game or
No,
don't,
no, 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 no,
we
no,
all
no, no.
because we all have different talents. What I offer is not what you offer, Daniel, and so on and so forth, or what Natalie offers them. And so it's a really amazing community that we have. Sloan, I think we took you completely off of course, so you can just pick
It is
whatever you want and we'll go with that.
it is fine. Just make one up. No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Let's
love it.
get let's get some free expert tips here from Mr. Daniel. For a leader stepping into a stalled or chaotic project right now, where should they begin? I feel like I know your answer, but go ahead.
I got my first answer off the top of my head would probably be, right away, very similar to the first answer I gave you is talking to people. If it was like stalled and I needed to do something immediately right now, I might grab some documentation. But ordinarily I'd want to talk to, if I had a list, the key stakeholders, a sponsor and maybe my team. And then try to go from there. If I was like gun to my head, gotta figure it out real quick. But yeah, again, to me, I don't care what's going on. At the end of the day, I want to talk to my people, even if it's a small subset of them, to really see what's going on. And of course, if it was a project that there was a previous project manager or third party consultant or someone else was working on this project, I'd want to bend their ear a little bit. I might not be getting the right perspective, but at least I see from their side a lot of times what went wrong or what was causing some of the problems, combine that with the other stakeholder conversations. And ordinarily I get to exactly where I should be to start planning the next steps, to either realign, stop the project sometimes, set it to maybe next year. Or, again, sometimes you just got to let a project go, prepare for those conversations, which are not easy to have.
Yeah. Yeah,
I call
for
those
sure.
high courage conversations.
Yeah,
I
those
like
are
that.
those are high courage conversations. The first time I ever walked into a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, told him that we should stop the project, the look on his face stopped my heart almost. I was only maybe 4 years as a project manager, and I thought I was being fired immediately. And we wound up actually having a really good conversation for probably about 4 hours. It was a very it changed the way I thought about executives for sure. But I haven't met many like him since. Most of them are just kind of throwing you out their office. But yeah, it at the end of the day, you just got to figure out what you need to do, and the people are ordinarily will tell you directly or indirectly, one way or another. And again, once you have all your ducks in a row, the right people, the right conversations, put all that stuff together, you can start planning anything you need.
Yeah, and giving people, I think, Sloan, you touched on this earlier, like giving people the grace to
Yeah,
like hear them out and like, hey, just tell me how it is. And here's another thing that I see too. I was talking to one of our clients about this yesterday. I think that we see a lot of projects fail because we rush them. If there's this
Yes.
huge like rush, 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 I want to get it done. I want the product, especially if there's a product,
Oh, yeah,
right?
especially if there's
I
a
want
product. Yeah.
the product to market. I want it out there. I want it done now. Well, we can put the product out there, right? But if it's not done, if it's not good, it's not going to do well. And then you're going to be disappointed. And I have seen this in my career over and over and
Yes.
over again. So many times. Like, there's a process. Let's follow the process. Let's do it right. Let's make sure that we're crossing all the T's and dotting all the
Yes.
I's, and making sure that when we put this out, when someone gets this in their hand, whether or on their screen or whatever
Yeah.
the case
We're on the
is, that
screen.
that it's
Yeah.
done and it's ready. And I think a lot of projects really, really fail after they're quote unquote done because it never was done to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah. Like end of year's a big target date, or if your competitor's about to put something out like Apple or Samsung, people just go to the extreme to cut things short for no
Yes.
reason. Then they put out these MVPs that are garbage. Then their net promoter scores go down. They take a hit in the market. And
Yes.
maybe if you took another month to plan, like I constantly tell my coaching clients and mentees, like projects fail in the beginning, not at the end. They fail
Hmm.
before the first conversation happens for the project. Maybe not the project conversations, but
Yeah. No, I
that's
agree with
that's
that.
where it fails
Yeah.
in those conversations. That's why I'm a firm advocate of having a PM, maybe not in the first thought conversation, but the first actual conversation where we start to put a business case together, see if it's viable.
Yeah. And really to allow and to embrace different people's perspectives,
Yeah.
different people's ideas, because what I may think is right may not be right in this particular situation. And that's
Yeah.
why we rely on our teams. I rely on my team so much to tell me, hey, this is so when I hired on Amy to pull us out of a mess of video editing and stuff, she is amazing. And no one else can have her.
I love it. I love
But
it.
she like all of a sudden one day she sends us this whole, what do we call it? So I don't even know what we call it. Like
It was,
this,
she called it, it was a workflow tracker.
she just boom
I
created
like
it like
that
a day.
idea. I
And we were like,
like that idea.
we didn't even know we needed it, but it's so beautiful. And she did such a good job with it. And now it just keeps us all on track. We go right here, we do this, we give her what she needs, she gives us what we need. And it was brilliant. And I was like, wow, I would have never even thought about that. And I'm like, I'm so grateful because I'm so busy, like quote unquote busy doing all these other things that my brain does not have time to even think about that. All
No,
I
you're
could
too
think
busy in
about.
the weeds. You
Yeah.
you don't have time to step back.
Yeah.
Most of the time you need someone to come in and say, hey, there's a easier or better way to do this. Have you tried this? And all of a sudden you realize, where's this been my entire life? Like, this is
It,
such a great addition to my life.
and she did it flawlessly, and she rolled
That's
it
so
out,
awesome.
and there were no hiccups, no problems. And I get excited to open that dashboard because I'm like, it's going to work. What I'm looking for is going to be there, and I'm going to have an answer immediately. I don't have to text, call, set up a meeting,
That's
nothing.
so awesome. See, that's a great use of a tool or platform or whatever the
Yes.
case may be. Your team wants to use it because it's useful to them personally and
Yeah.
for the team and for the company. And it
Yes.
helps you make it align and monitor progress. Most of the time, that's not what's done in project.
This is true. And when I tell you, like, it never even crossed my mind
That's
because
so
at the
amazing.
time when we brought her on, I was drowning in it. I was just drowning. There
I'm
was just
sure.
too much coming at me, and that's good, right? But at the same time, it was just too much. I was working too many hours.
Yeah.
I am much more productive when I can just focus on what I need to be doing. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am for my
Oh my
team.
God.
They are
Kudos, Amy. I
incredible.
love that.
And I
Yes,
am very thankful for Amy because Amanda had asked me, do you want to edit videos? And I was like, no, I don't. And
she's like, no.
she said, then you need to start praying for the person that
My
we're going to
God,
bring
that's
on
so
the
funny.
team to edit the videos. And
See,
so
that's
there's a
what
reason
happens. That's what
Yeah.
we
happens.
never say Amy's last name. We don't want people to be able to find her.
No, you cannot take our Amy.
For
No.
all you know, that's
That's
an
so
alias.
funny.
We don't know.
Exactly,
You
right?
cannot
It's AI.
you cannot have our Amy. She's the best.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
It's amazing when people are put into your life like that and you don't even realize you need them, or you did,
No,
and they
what's
make your
even
life so much better.
What's even more funny about it is, so we were all in a Bible study together, and so on Tuesday mornings we were going to this Bible study, and Sloan and I were there, and I was telling her, I was like lamenting a little bit, and I was like, it was kind of in our in between time, and I was like, I just don't know what we're gonna do. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like literally drowning, and I was like, we really have to pray about the
Yeah.
next person that God's gonna bring us. And Amy was there, and she's like, now, ladies, no talking about work while you're here. And she was joking around. She's so cute. And then later she texted me. She's like, hey, what is it that you're needing? Like, maybe I can help you. And I was like,
My God, that's so crazy. That is
no, I'm
so
like, God is
crazy.
so good. He's so good. And he just right on time. And she was already there, he opened that door. And so,
My
yeah,
God, that's
my
so
ladies are
amazing. I
amazing. And
can't
no,
get
you may
enough
not.
stories like that. It just gives you hope for yourself. Like it might not be the same exact situation, but something like that, and that those things are possible and they do really happen.
Yeah,
You don't need to have a
absolutely.
winning lottery ticket. It's not that crazy. It's something as simple as this, which for you is a lottery ticket winning.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yes,
awesome. Oh, that's so
absolutely.
awesome. I love
But I,
that.
I think to add to that too, that's what's so important. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but like when you get those people, let them work. Let them do
Yes.
what God has designed them and put them in front of you to do.
Yeah,
And I'm grateful beyond belief. I cannot tell you enough how grateful I am. So, well,
that's it.
Daniel, I want to be respectful of your time. So this particular podcast, I don't know if you've had a chance, because I know you are very busy with your 95,000 followers, if you've had a chance to listen, but on this podcast, we ask the same two questions to everybody. And so I'm going to let Sloan ask the first one, and then I'll ask the last one.
All right. Daniel, name a leader you admire and briefly share how they've influenced you.
Probably John Maxwell. I mean, I could name 1,000 of them, right? But I've he was the he authored the first like management leadership book I ever wrote, or sorry, ever read, right? And I've pretty much been a sucker for his stuff since. And between his LinkedIn stuff and all the different things he's doing, and some of the even the courses that I've taken, he has really set the stage for me in how leadership not only is but could be if the right environment is created, and also knowing that you have the opportunity or the obligation to help create that environment because it affects so many people around you. And if you could pull that off, you leave a legacy, not only for yourself, not, hey, oh, Daniel's the greatest thing ever happened. No, because then those people then do the same thing at the next company they go to and the next company, and then it goes down and down and down. And hopefully by being that leader and also at the same time trying to elevate others to become leaders as well, you just leave a legacy. You don't need to hoopla for, but that just touches so many people's lives. And if I could just do that a little bit while I'm on this planet, I'll consider myself a lottery winner.
He answered the first and the second question. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
That's a good project manager right there.
Right,
He's
right. A
just
little, very
efficient.
efficient.
Efficient. Yes.
Efficient.
He just not,
What's
we
the
don't
second
even need to have
question?
a meeting. It's just done.
What was the
Um,
second question?
I'm going to ask it. But I want to touch on, I'm a huge John Maxwell fan too.
I
I've
love
read
it.
many of his books. He is
Like
wonderful.
my
We've had
Bibles.
other discussions. A while back, I was like, I told Son, I said, because, and I'm sure it's his team because, he has a lot of people as well. But again, LinkedIn will tell you when people are like looking at your
Yeah.
profile and stuff. And so John Maxwell was looking at my profile and liking on my stuff and
My
commenting on my
God,
stuff.
that's
And I'm like, what?
awesome.
I was like,
Right?
so
It's so
shout out
crazy
to
how that
John.
makes you feel, right?
I know. I was like, wow. It's kind of like when Daniel comments on your stuff, you're like, it's a
My
celebrity. I got
God.
somebody commenting on my stuff.
Yeah. Our
So no,
phones
it's
are
really,
full of screenshots of LinkedIn sending
Oh my
back
God.
and
I
forth.
have so many after I was like, I'm like a
Yeah.
child. Like
We're like,
my
look
wife,
who's
who
yeah,
that? She's
look
like, who
who
the hell's
liked
that?
it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Look who looked at my profile today.
oh my God, that's so funny.
So for those of you not on LinkedIn, you don't know about that. You don't know that you get to see.
No,
Now
you're
you do
missing
have to
out.
pay. You have to pay for premium to be able to have that feature, but it is kind of fun. I kind of chuckle at it. And so one of the things that I do on my LinkedIn platform is I try very hard to do either a motivational quote or a challenging quote or
Yeah.
something like that every day. And just to get people's thoughts going about a certain topic or whatever. And so a lot of times you'll see John Maxwell quotes on mine because he has so much to offer us as
So
leaders.
much. So much.
And so you'll see a lot of those. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of that. And those are very intentional. I do create some of the graphics with AI. And I saw the other day that now LinkedIn is now notifying everyone of an AI graphic.
Yeah.
So, but we're very open about that we do use AI, but I'm very intentional about the quotes that I choose. I actually really do review every single one of them, look at every single one and think about, okay, what do I want to say in this? What is the message that I want to get across in this? And it's kind of I don't know. I started it a long time ago. It's been a long time. I'd have to go back and look, but I started doing that a long time ago, and I was just doing like one here and there. And then I got so much great feedback from it. People were like, "Oh, I love that you do. I love opening up and seeing, whatever quote you put." So now it's a lot of fun, and I really I put a lot of intention into it, and I pray about what
I
I'm
love that.
posting, and I hope that it motivates me. And it's not always gushy and like, hey, you're the best. Sometimes it's really challenging and makes you think about, hey,
But
oh,
yeah,
maybe I need
yeah,
to look
life
at
isn't
that.
always
So.
sunshine as much as we would wish it was.
Right. It's just not. All right. So the last question you did kind of answer, but I'm going to let you expound on it a little bit. When you think about your legacy as a leader, what lasting impact do you hope that it has on other people?
I guess kind of did answer, I guess, a little bit in my last question, in the last answer to my question. But yeah, just I don't want my legacy to be really about me. I want it to be about the people that I'm like touching around. Of course, my wife and my children, of course, but
Sure.
the people around me that I've touched personally and professionally, I want them to like just be the best version of themselves. I feel like if I had a little tiny part in that, even if it was a smile, opening a door for someone, whatever it was, if I just had that little piece of that in them, that legacy is, oh, I'll take me to the grave for sure. It has
That's
nothing to do with
beautiful. I love
money
it.
or fame or any of that stuff. Like, I just want them to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
So then, of course, so hopefully someone else sees that and wants it for themselves. And then that goes on and on and on. That would be a legacy. And put me in the grave after that one. That'd be amazing.
That's
Hopefully not too
beautiful.
soon.
Not too soon.
Not
No.
too soon. Hopefully
Because
another 4 years.
now we're in 2026, not
Yeah.
1900, so we
Yeah,
can live to
exactly.
be longer.
Hopefully, will last a little bit longer, but
We're
no,
hitting our
no.
stride at 47. That's what we're doing now.
Exactly, right? I feel like although I'm 51, I feel like I'm just like kind of coming into my own, which sounds crazy. So, but
I know. So I remember very vividly. I don't know why, but I remember very vividly. My mother was working at Mount Paran Church of God in Marietta, Georgia. She was the pastor's secretary there. And I remember standing in her office. Now, you're going to laugh at this. Do you remember when we used to print and it had like the little holes and it would just like, and you would print a
yeah,
banner?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about? And it was like all in
Like a
one thing. It
dot
was like
matrix,
accordion.
yes.
And so we printed her a happy birthday banner and we put it behind her desk. There's pictures of her. And it was her 40th birthday. And I remember, oh my gosh, my mother's so
No, right?
like,
Oh my God, that's
that's
so
it. I was
funny.
like, that's it. She's so old. And I look at the pictures of her now, like, because I have those of that birthday. And I'm like, she was just getting started,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
like, 40 is like, I have had better life quality, better fun, more,
Yeah,
just all around
yeah.
more intelligent thought processes, I think, at 40 than I ever did. I did not really like my 30s. 30 was difficult for me. I know it's not for everybody. But yeah, if I look back, like I wouldn't, well, I'm not going to say I wouldn't change anything, but
Right, right. Maybe a few things.
there are a few things I would probably change. But I have really learned in my 40s to just kind of embrace where I am
Yeah.
and just really kind of love this. Sloane's younger than us, so she hasn't gotten there yet. She's just a baby.
Looking forward
But
to it. Looking forward to it.
But there's a bit of a freedom to that. But it's funny because I remember, I mean, just standing there looking at my mom thinking, that's it.
It's so
She's
crazy, right?
done.
Even I was having a conversation with my oldest daughter the other day. She's 25. And I remember when I was like 12 and looking at a 25-year-old like they were so like, oh, get away from me. And then
Yeah.
now I'm 51. I'm like, oh my God, but I feel like I'm 18. I mean, I don't move like I'm 18. And I
No, I
definitely,
don't. Well,
it takes me a while to get out of bed in the morning, but I
yeah,
feel like
let's
I'm
be
still
really
young.
honest and
You know?
transparent that your body does not work the
No,
same.
no, no, no.
Everything hurts.
Sometimes it's
And
like a
so,
100-year-old.
yeah, yeah. But Sona gives you something to look forward to. That's one of the things I love about having her here too, is because she brings a perspective to me that I
That's
think
so
sometimes,
awesome.
yeah, we lose a little bit of that. And so, and she's just brilliant and she knows things that I don't know. She's like, she'll say words I don't know. And I'm like, what?
It's so nice to have like people
that I know that they complain about younger people, and I can kind of see to some of that. But I like having an intergenerational because
Yeah.
I have lots of stuff to give. They also have lots of stuff to give. They're
Absolutely.
faster. They're on
Absolutely.
their phones. Like they could tell me stuff I didn't even know existed, and all that. I'm like,
Yeah.
if we work together, imagine what we could accomplish.
I know. I
Wow.
agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we have a unique opportunity. We can mentor younger people too
Yes.
and
Yes.
train them on things that we know and give them an opportunity to be in in the corporate world
Yeah.
with a leg up. With the like kind of a multi-generational approach of, hey, you know things that I don't know and I know things that you don't know. Let's come together
Yeah.
and like share those ideas and really make something great. Well, Daniel, I am so grateful to have you on here. I know
Well,
we waited a
same.
long
Same.
time.
Oh my God, it's
I
too long.
always enjoy conversations with you. It's a lot of fun. I know Sloane does too. We're both connected with you, and so thanks for being on with us, Sloane. Thank you for your time today too.
Absolutely.
For I do not drag her to these, but I do. We do have a lot of fun with them. So she doesn't get to be on everyone, and so when she's not on, I'm like,
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're on.
yeah,
Yes, I'm
no,
glad. Thank you.
but
Well,
thank you
thank you
so much.
both.
Yeah, and so we're gonna put all your contact information. Best place to get you is LinkedIn, right? And then
Yeah.
the PM Playbook.
Yep.
And so go sign up for that and go connect on LinkedIn with Daniel. He's incredible. His team's incredible. And just an honor to have you on. Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Same. Same.